always liked that song. Kittner to Chad Johnson, waiting for the heartache.
And someone didn't hear the whole thing, and that's how that turned out that way. God.
In 2002,
for my ball club here. My ball club.
in only his second season, receiver Chad Johnson emerged as a team leader. During 2002, Johnson matured into a complete receiver.
When I ran with CD on that thing, see, I took out 2 people.
I know, you did a good job. You did a good job.
I'm the best blocker in the NFL.
Okay, Keyshawn.
Hey! Chad! Adjust to the ball if you gonna catch it!
Number 85 listened to his cousin Keyshawn and led the Bengals with 69 catches for 1,169 yards.
And Chad Johnson runs that skinny post to 7. As time's going long down the middle of the field, there's Chad Johnson at the 35-30, being chased. He will go into the end zone. Touchdown!
For the first time in years, there is hope in Cincinnati. Fans have a reason to believe. The Bengals will restore the roar that has been missing and what 62.2% of his passes. Already named the starting quarterback.
Kittner drops to throw. Has time. Looking long down the middle of the field. He has Chad Johnson. 5. Touchdown Bengals.
Unbelievable. He just absolutely burned Robert Griffin.
The team was gaining a confident swagger.
High pass from Gannett. Punt for the Raiders. Gannett throwing for only 103 yards. John Kittner rolls out to Chad Johnson.
Outstanding speed that got into the end zone.
What? Give John Kittner the Bengals credit. We're coming back. Pump fake. And they look for Chad Johnson. It's ruled a catch. They looked at it. Both feet in. Let's take another look. Johnson. See those orange shoes? You can now sit you with a lead. Okay. Oh, I'm going to throw it 82 yards to Chad Johnson. Kittner to Johnson, 82 yards, and it's 21-7. Ed just, he read it, but he couldn't handle it.
Well, these are the plays that you need to go your way. It's pretty easy. Pitch and catch. Quarterback receiver.
Now with the score 24-20, Seattle. John Kittner used to play for the Seahawks. Used to play for Holmgren to Chad Johnson. Touchdown, 53 yards. Take the helmet off. No, I'm not taking it. But uh-oh, there's the flag.
Yeah.
And Marvin Lewis, words with his wide receiver, said, Coach, I was not making the throat slash sign. I was only saying I'm not taking my helmet off. Road for the first time in 3 years. You can set your watch to it. They won at Cleveland in 2000. John Kittner, Chad Johnson. How about this grab of 41 yards?
That's a great grab over the shoulder, and
We will win. That's a guarantee. Is that how I'm supposed to say it?
On Monday.
Yeah. Yeah. We will beat the Chiefs, so, I mean, it's going to be fun.
Long before the fans got there, Tommy, they were fired up. Say it's another one of those games. 6-3 in the third, Chiefs. John Kittner, Chad Johnson. He did have a big game. Caught 7 for 74.
50-50. The young people liked it. The vets weren't too hot about it.
Chad Johnson got the team off to a good start in San Diego.
Back to throw. Stepping up, throwing, end zone, touchdown, Chad Johnson.
Cincinnati Super Bengals. They're in San Diego. Marvin Lewis and the Bengals beginning a 3-game road trip. John Kittner to Chad Johnson. Look at the feet there, Tom.
it's a beautiful thing.
You go interview him, he's great. And Kittner to Chad Johnson. Touchdown. Did you see the move? Watch this. And what? Oh, man. Touchdown.
That's a great move on Shammy.
Cincy. 2 minutes left in the half. 7-3 Cincy. John Kittner. Chad Johnson. 4-yard touchdown. 19 east for this young man.
Yeah, and you look at the coverage. Somebody has the outside. We're going to put the arrow on Chad Scott. He starts to go inside. Looks like in and out. Somebody loses the coverage outside.
Career, Pittsburgh within 14-10. Now it's 14-13. Kittner, Chad Johnson with 10 minutes to go in the game. It's going to be a 57-yard pickup, leading to a 44-yard field goal by Rackers, and it's 17-13. Game at home in a month. And who cares that the weather was frightful? Terrell Owens, Chad Johnson, he had to feel this be a big day for the offense and the wide receivers. Kitna to Johnson. And it's 7-0 Bengals. And Chad says, please don't find me again. A pair of touchdowns, 121, another 100-yard day for him. Kitna to Chad Johnson, tackled at the 2, but they do not get in.
Could run like that.
A seal here and a seal here. Then John Kitna to Chad Johnson. A complete pass, but a flag on the play, Tom.
What's up today? You tired?
Secret. I want to be one of the greatest to ever play this game.
That's not a secret.
But I want to be better than Rice.
That's right.
Y'all got to help me.
And we're going to help you.
While he may not have reached Jerry Rice's level just yet, Chad Johnson did lead the AFC with 1,355 receiving yards, a franchise record. He also earned his first Pro Bowl start.
Another spectacular catch by Chad Johnson.
85. Who can cover him? He says nobody.
Johnson continues to improve each season and may be on his way to achieving icon status.
28-yard touchdown by Martin. 6.5 minutes to go. Play fake, Carson Palmer. How about this catch by Chad Johnson? Wow, beautiful throw, beautiful catch, 53 yards. At the end of the half, it's almost as big as scored at the end of the game, and sometimes 21-17. Carson Palmer to Chad Johnson. Ship Pepto-Bismol. Bengals provisional football in Ohio, Tom. On Monday, the Bengals look good. Sunday.
To throw, he throws an excellent deep ball. But look at the battle that's going to go on here. Chad Johnson and Lance Frazier, and all of that contact, all that roughing each other up. No call. I like that by the official. There was no call to make.
Johnson leaves the game in the third quarter. Then Carson Palmer, Chad Johnson, 18 yards. He's spiking it there. Palmer to Chad Johnson. Well, you know, he wants the... Calm down here. You're ahead 26-3.
Lanes, they're the first team really to be able to do this to him.
They sacked him 7 times. Meanwhile, Carson Palmer. How about this catch? Chad Johnson, 36 yards. You know you're going to see that in the end zone. 7 games. Then Carson Palmer. Chad Johnson. Remember, he mailed the Browns defensive back Pepto-Bismol in the game. Do you like TJ? That's why. First down. Then Kitna gives the Giants some Pepto-Bismol when he hits Chad Johnson for a touchdown, 23-22. Here's the catch. Nice.
What a great grab and a great route run by Chad Johnson.
Now there's a difference in Cincinnati Bengals. The Minnesota Vikings spread smooth on defense, talking with Chad Johnson. They had some words before the game that was more friendly, but not after this. First minute of the game, Carson Palmer, Chad Johnson, 70-yard, 1990. Here's Carson. He hits Chad Johnson for the Bengals get good. They get songs too, Tom. Right? All right. Look at the pitch, the toss to Johnson. He loses a yard. He would limp and go into the locker room, but he would return. With all the picks and everything, it's just 17-7 until this. Chad Johnson, open from Carson Palmer, 40 yards, perfect throw.
Yeah, he made the corner, and perfect throw, but Chad made the corner whip at the line of scrimmage.
And the push-ups, well, he has fun.
The unbeaten and at Jacksonville. Bengals not favored for the first time this season. Chad Johnson earlier this week told Sports Illustrated, I've got all kinds of original material that can top the cell phone and the Sharpie, and I'll probably do something on Sunday night when we play at Jacksonville. I can hardly wait.
You got to score first.
Early second. Yeah, and winning the game, too. Johnson makes the catch, gets hit hard by Rashean Mathis, and Mathis reminding Johnson that freedom of speech isn't just his right. Johnson, though, will get our Visa Skycam play of the game right here. Carson Palmer rolls out and hits Johnson in the corner of the end zone. 14-yard touchdown pass, 5 catches, 52 yards, and he did get both feet down right there, and then he gives some football CPR.
Man in the middle.
So from behind again, now it's 17-all, under 5 minutes to go in the game. Chad Johnson going against the number 1 draft pick. That'll be Pac-Man Jones. It's a flag, and the Bengals now first and 10 at the 20. So Chad Johnson working against. The comedy man shows up here finally. Chad Johnson. Chad Johnson says, bring on the Steelers after an enforced quiet week.
11:25. How can you not be out here preparing to
go against a dominant figure as myself.
Well, he's trying to be a dominant figure right out of the gate, Tom, as Cincinnati drove the ball right down the field. Carson Palmer. Oh, what a catch by Chad Johnson. First he celebrates, they call it a touchdown in Cincinnati, and Chad Johnson comes over early before the game and says, you know what? Can I throw you a touchdown pass? Chad's unbelievable. But here's Carson to Chad Johnson. And you think he's having fun? Wait a minute, I got a plan.
Chad is fun.
I can't hear you. Young lady, would you please? Of course. And it's now 14 to 10. He's entered our second most all-time in a half in NFL history. Here come the Bengals. Palmer to Chad Johnson. You can't propose in the middle of the field. Carson, we have a Carson and a McMahon now playing quarterback in the NFL at the same time. And look at this, the Tonight Show during the
at Arrowhead Sunday against the Chiefs, spreading it out, no huddle, and create the matchup that you like, because the Chiefs cannot substitute. And Sean, they seem to like going back to Chad Johnson there and one more time.
And it didn't matter where he was on the field, and this is the next element.
That to come from his teammate Chad Johnson. Palmer and Chad hooking up 3rd and 5 from in tight, so close, so tough to operate in close space, and then Johnson does a little chicken dance. We flash back to Saturday when Johnson participated in the world's largest chicken dance in the Oktoberfest celebration in Cincinnati. The Bengals' other Johnson, by the way, Rudy Johnson, War Eagle,
was open #1 and then run after the catch. Everybody did a great job of getting yards after the catch. It's 4th and 1. You got Rudy Johnson. Obviously, diving in the middle, right? Wrong! They air it out to Chad Johnson. Keep hope alive. How about the call?
That was the actual play that was called. Coach Bukowski, I don't know if you're going to see this, man. I love you. Thank you. And, man, it was a great call.
TDB Pittsburgh a week ago. Ocho-Cinco, that's what he wants to be called now. 85, kind of inspired. Chad Johnson, D'Angelo Hall, a lot of talking to Carson, just rips it off. Okay, let the show begin. Well, here was the show. D'Angelo Hall knocks him out of bounds. Now he's back. Chris Crocker bakes up a personal foul.
Unnecessary. Unnecessary.
Well, now Palmer says, I ripped the fake name off the jersey. Let me find the real receiver. And tight coverage by Hall on the play.
Pick up some yards when he elects to scramble. Rudy Johnson back in, and there's the quick to Chad Johnson. First down, touchdown. That threw him off based on what Chad ran. So it's 3rd down and 9, 3rd and long. And this pass, Chad Johnson makes the catch, and did he stay in bounds? The official ruling is he did, as he dove toward the sideline. You take a look now and see whether or not, one, he made the catch, which I think he did. Did he have control after, though? Well, his hand's under the ball.
After only 4 catches and after being asked, some would interpret baited by reporters to comment on his role with the team, Ochocinco took the bait and said, quote, when Christmas comes around, I might as well be a hood ornament because all I've been so far is a decoration sitting out there all pretty, ready for people to jump on. Dissension, anger in the Bengals locker room. Speaking of reeling.
If you're a defensive guy, look away. Chad Johnson and the Bengals, LaDainian Tomlinson, and the Chargers. Let's start with Chad, who spoke up this week and said he
Give me the ball.
More involved. Well, you know what? He was involved. He was involved in every way you can be, except when it comes to being covered by San Diego.
I was gonna say, good thing somebody was covering him and he wasn't open.
That's a 51-yard touchdown. Take a look. What happened? How did he get so wide open?
To me, he is one of the greatest route runners we have seen. But what a great job of climbing the safety. See how hard he gets up on that safety? Once he does that, man, it's dead. The safety's done. No way can the safety turn and run thing. You got all the field either side. That's about great route running and attacking a guy in a
And he gives love to the family.
Why not?
Mommy and Grandma, I love it. 21-0. 3rd quarter, Bengals up 28-21. Johnson again between 3 defenders, and he makes the catch.
Nice job of finishing the route. Great throw by Palmer, but it's a good job of selling up the field and then flattening the throw and then getting himself some extra yards after, another 6, 7, 8 yards after initial contact.
He got 6, 7, 8, 48, 63.
75,
Palmer again
130.
To Chad Johnson. Johnson, 11 receptions, a team record, 260 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. Bengals take a 38-28 lead. How did he get so wide open again as he mocked?
Chad Johnson saying, Sean Merriman, I got you. Let's compare. There's Chad doing the Sean.
Pretty good.
And Sean doing the Sean. But the Bengals still have a chance. They get the ball. They're at midfield. They're down by 8. Palmer. Chad Johnson right after the 2-minute warning. 22 yards. $1.50 to go. Palmer. Boy, did he have it working on this day, Tom. Palmer. To Johnson again, 12 yards. They're down to the 15.
They're frustrated, but I don't think the venting on camera, we had enough of that last week. That was talked about, so I don't think anyone's going to show their frustration as much, with the camera on them. Believe me, before y'all got in here, it's a lot of people talking.
Bourbon Street in the French Quarter. Last week, Chad Johnson was a truth, 260 yards receiving. This week, this is the 4th play from scrimmage. Jaws, how does Ochocinco get so open?
Well, first of all, Palmer had time. That's the key. You'll see the route is covered first by Fred Thomas. He runs by him. The safety is late getting over to help out because Palmer had time to let the play develop deep down the field.
4th quarter, Coach, what does Chad do better than anybody else in the league?
Well, right now he gets open, and he does get open. He has great speed, and he can catch the football. That's what he does best right now. His dances aren't too bad either.
Great comment.
Earlier this year he said he was just an ornament, but it wasn't about him. He knows that for the teams to be successful, they've got to get him the ball. And this shows you what kind of team player he is. He's that rare showboat that opposing players like and respect.
Absolutely.
There's Chad Johnson right there, 190 yards receiving yesterday. Last 2 weeks, 450 yards receiving, 5 touchdowns, a 450 NFL record, most by a player in consecutive games in history, surpassing the old mark of 448 by